Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Let me mark off the overnight session levels real quick. We got that big move up with the news, or the announcement, I guess. It wasn't really news. Something with Amazon and NVIDIA. I didn't really read the details of it, but I know that was the reason it jumped up. Moving on up. Chichimus, I'm not sure about Top Step specifically, but I know Project X had a little lag last night. It was down for a very brief period of time. I think it was like 10 minutes. So some of the data, I think, from last night is still not there. The live data should be good, but if you're looking at last night's data, it might not be there. They said that it would be fixed with the update this morning. I don't know when that is, but that could be what's going on. Hit the like button or Waffles is going to be annoying on you to you guys this morning. I love it. Happy Monday. All right. Well, let me pull up. This was my kind of game plan. It looks a little jumbled since trading has happened over it, but this gray shaded area was kind of the level I was watching from like 26,030 to 26,070. My game plan was if we held above it, I would be looking for longs. If we held below it, I'd be looking for shorts. So obviously right now we're above it. This is a pretty big high volume node, so support. We're also above Friday's point of control and value area high. Like, we're definitely bullish right now, but we're coming into resistance. That news candle dropped right at the previous week's value area high. Like, you can see that when I zoom in, it's like to the tick. So it'll be interesting to see how the market opens. If it holds below this resistance level, or maybe some sort of liquidity grab, and then it was just a news pump and we're going to be going down, possibly look for shorts. But if we get a pullback to like VWAP or point of control somewhere around here, it could be a long continuation play. So just going to kind of see how the market opens and reacts to that news. Oh yeah, Aaron, you figured it out. Previous week. Will I trade gold this morning? Let me see if there's anything. So this gold area, the yellowish area, is a pretty big support. That I had marked off. So I don't like to flip-flop back and forth between the charts. I think what I'll do is set an alert right here at 4011. because it's the top of this support area and that's VWAP. So we'll see how the market opens on gold. I don't normally trade it during the New York session. If I trade it, it's during Asia. Well, we're definitely getting some continuation up. We had the quick announcement, a little bit of a pullback, and now we're getting some continuation. So, like I said, it'll be interesting to see how the market opens. If the New York session continues with that bullish news that was released, or if we're going to retrace that news candle and start falling below some resistance. Let's see. How's everyone's weekend? You guys all have a candy hangover? All right, parents, admit it. Have you been stealing your kids' candy? I definitely have. Twix are my favorite. That's my kryptonite. It's really hard for me to say no to Twix. So I'll admit it. My kids don't have very many Twix left because I've eaten a lot of them. Oh, man. It works out, though, because my kids prefer the fruity and sour stuff. So they like Sour Patch Kids, Skittles, Warheads. They're all on a Warhead kick. And I'm not a big fan of those. I would prefer Twix and Snickers. Oh, happy birthday. You even leave the trash on top so they can see that you ate it. Oh, that's funny. There's no shame. I don't even have to hide the fact that I steal my kids' Twix. They just know, like, this is our family candy. I walked the streets with you too. They know, though. They know that I like Twix and they know that Dad likes Almond Joy. So when they, like, went up to a house this weekend and they got Twix or Almond Joy, they would come running back and be like, Mom, look, I got you one. I'm not going for Mom of the Year over here. Yep. That's funny. That reminds me of the last weekend before school started, like the last weekend of summer break. I had my kids out in the front yard helping me pull weeds. And when it dawned on me, like the fact that this was their last weekend of summer, I was like, oh, I'm a mean mom. They're supposed to be like lounging in their pajamas, watching TV, soaking up the last bit of summer, and I'm making them pull weeds. You took your granddaughter out to get candy for you? I've always thought about that. Like when there's an 18-month-old like dressed up getting Halloween candy and they have a giant bucket full, you know the parents are going to be eating most of that. So this yellow VWAP is anchored at the news announcement just to kind of see who's in control. Right now it's sitting right at that anchored VWAP. Yeah, Aaron, so you're one of those grandparents This candy's not for the 10-month-old. It's for me. Good morning. Gold is coming back down. All right, market's open in about 1 minute. Let's see what we get. I have a feeling that the announcement bullish news is probably going to continue at the market open, and we'll get a little move up just because the New York session hasn't traded it yet, and that was pretty big for Nvidia and Amazon. So I'm guessing it's going to jump up, but I'm not going to be chasing it. Jarman, this is NQ, the chart that I have up right now. Well, it came back up to that previous week value area high, matched the announcement candle. Getting a little move down. I'll delete this view op just so we don't have too many lines going. Watching for a possible move up to the top of this high volume node. Maybe a liquidity grab from previous day high. See if we can maybe get a short reaction from there. $286, 26,286 is the top of where I have this high volume node. And you can see why, if you look left, there was lots of trading in this area. So either we reject it, we come up to the top and move down, or if we break above and hold it, we could be going to all-time highs today. This is a pretty big level if you look left. Looking pretty bullish so far. All right, here's our New York anchored candle. So we have previous day high coming up here in a bit. Could drop a little bit from there. or continue up to, you can see these wicks on the left higher at like 26,288. Could get a little pullback at that level. But again, if we hold above that, like if we break out and show that we're holding, could be a continuation up kind of day. Coming back down. All right, so this is our 15-minute opening range high so far. To me, it's still not rejecting off any like super clean levels, not making me want to chase this. Because up here, it didn't even come up to previous day high or the top of this high volume node. So this could just be, you know, the market open chop. We could return up to here. We could dump from here. Who knows? That announcement candle is right here. The bottom of it is 26,187. So there's always a possibility that it could come down and like retrace that and then bounce. One thing I did not look at, check out that gap. All the way down to 26,000 if we're gonna be dumping down to the regular trading hours gap fill. Wow. Not saying it's gonna happen, just got it on my radar. It's a long way down there. One thing I was gonna do was mark off the volume profile for last night's session. So point of control from last night was down at 2677. And this kind of shows some areas of high volume where we could possibly get a bounce. So I'll be watching that. This thing's moving down hard though. That announcement candle that I was talking about, we've already broken past that. It's looking like shorts were the way to go. For now, at least. I didn't enter because it was too soon in the open. It was only 3 or 4 minutes in when it started rejecting. But like I said, it didn't come up to that previous day high. I was watching for a possible liquidity grab up there, but it never touched that level. So started to drop before I got in. That's okay. Still early. Lots of opportunity. Evac, glad you're feeling better. Welcome back. So like I said in my trading plan for the day, this high volume node right here was kind of what I was watching for to decide if I was doing longs or shorts. And it's interesting that the overnight point of control is right at the top of that, 2677. So even if we are going to see a lot more downside today, this might be a decent spot for a bounce in this general area. Kimmer, are you talking about my pink line? That's from the New York session, or this is from the overnight session. So I use TradingView. If you come over here to the projections tools, fixed range volume profile, you can measure the range that you want. So for this one, I did the opening at 6 p.m. Eastern. You click once there and you click to the other part that you want that range to be. So that's how I did it for the Asia session. And then you can do the same for the New York session. Just click once on the 9:30 candle and then all the way over to the 4 p.m. candle. And it'll show you for the New York session what the point of control was. I cheat a little bit for the New York session. I have this session volume profile indicator, which does the same thing. But that right there, and I mark off the levels, the value area high, point of control, and value area low, and then I turn off the indicator just so it's not in the way. Still moving down. Sheesh. No opportunity for pullback to enter this thing. We got about 3 minutes left until the 15-minute range is set. Kind of give us an idea of what's going to happen today. But so far, it's looking like a lot of downside. Beatrice, I use prop firms. So I trade Lucid, Tradeify, and TradeDay. I use Project X with them. That's my favorite trading platform. And then I chart on TradingView. The screen that I have up right now is TradingView. We're at an interesting spot right now. This is a higher time frame, high volume node. We're at the bottom of that. I like to play the edges on those. It's also got some confluence for a high volume node from the overnight session. Wonder if we're going to get a little bounce here or if this thing's just going to keep dumping. I'm not interested in trying along. It's not giving me any signs that it's going to bounce yet. Also, I see better areas lower. Like we have VWAP at the very least. It could come down to that, sitting at like 136. And then that area down here at 2677 I was talking about. Last night's point of control. Previous week point of control. Like there's lots of stuff right here. But I've also learned my lesson not to try to catch a falling knife, so. Gonna trade with the trend until proven otherwise. All right, there's the news. We just had PMI come out, and then at 10 o'clock we have another PMI. So we had one at 9:45, one at 10. We have U.S. Treasury QRA estimates at 3 o'clock. I don't remember seeing that before. I don't even know what it is, honestly. Probably because it's at a time when I'm not usually trading. I'm usually done by then, so it's not something on my radar. What is gold doing? Oh. It came down to the spot that I mentioned. I had, you see this dotted line right here? I guess I didn't have my alarm like the actual noise on because I didn't see the notification pop up. But dang, that was perfect. It hit exactly where my alert was and bounced. Oh well. Plenty of opportunities. Price is kind of just chopping around here, maybe waiting for the rest of the news to come out in 13 minutes. Yeah, Verisat, I usually have my notification bell on. And when I don't have the sound on, it like pops up over here on the left side. And I guess I just didn't see it. And I probably turned off the bell noise because it's so loud and annoying. Yeah, still going. Most of the night, it was holding up above this high volume node that I had. So I figured longs were the way to go on gold. It was pretty choppy last night though, so I didn't take any trades on it. The good trades seemed to happen during the London session when I wasn't awake. So 15-minute opening range trades, a common thing that I like to watch for is fake breakouts. So a possible setup would be a bounce off of VWAP and then reclaiming that opening range low. So I'll be watching for that. But we also have news in 11 minutes, so not going to take anything right now. I watch the news on Financial Juice. So on the left column on Financial Juice, they have the scheduled news, and I filter mine to the red folder news because I find the yellow doesn't really have much volume effect on the market. And then they also have a current news that's coming through. So anytime Trump makes an announcement or whatever, like that Amazon Nvidia deal that was made this morning, that popped up on there. So anything that's red, it catches my attention and I watch that on Financial Juice. All right, NQ's coming down to VWAP. No signs of bouncing right now. That is a break outside of the opening range low. So again, not going to chase it, but if it does come back and retest this level at 26,154, that would be something I would be watching for to enter a short if it comes there, and then probably target down to here. Might just go without us. Even if it does come back and retest, I might pass on it with news coming up. But that would be something I'm watching for if it happens after news. See how this 5-minute candle closes. A lot could change in the next 2.5 minutes. That was a pretty big buy up right there. If this candle closes back within the range and above VWAP and all that, I'm not sure I love the shorts. Let's see, let's see. Let's see what ES is doing. Is it looking about the same? Yeah, pretty similar. Really? Take no marvel. I've never really paid attention to Forex. I've never traded it, so I don't really watch it. But that's good to know that it goes crazy with news. We got 5 minutes left until news. Gold is still going crazy. Definitely seems like it's slowed down a little bit. Probably waiting for that news to come out in 4 minutes. Yeah, take no marvel, that's what I was watching. It did actually retest that opening range low super cleanly. But with news in 3 minutes, I don't want to risk it. Nope, no trade yet. There was a nice move down, but I didn't enter because it never actually hit the level that I was watching for a short. And then since then, it hasn't really given us any good pullbacks. And now we have news coming out in a couple minutes. So haven't taken a trade yet. Let's see if the news helps us go up or down. Shorting gold. Yeah. Decent area of resistance. All right, there's the news. Let's move to the 1 minute chart. See what kind of action it's given us. That was it, huh? That was the excitement we were waiting for? Was that worth the wait? Oh my goodness. All right. I got in a short. I actually scaled in a little bit here, but it was a tiny position because of the news. And then I added on that drop. So aiming to come down to 2660-ish. You'll have to tell me, Take No Marvel, did I have a big impact on Forex? There was nothing here. Sitting at Friday's point of control. Looking for it to continue down. It's moving slow though. All right, guys, so far we got 60 likes. That's decent. Get it up to 100. I do have a 50K account to give you guys. I am, yeah. I just realized I didn't put the trade up on the screen. I just had my trading view screen. So 26.64 was my first target. That's right at the previous week point of control and the overnight session point of control. I guess it was actually more at like 67, so I should move it up a little bit. London low is at 26.19. So I'll take off a little bit more there. It might not even need to come down that low, actually. This is a growth challenge account, so only need to hit 3K, actually. This is a TradeDay account, and it's Project X. That's the platform I'm on. Project X is my favorite. I like it. The charting is pretty much the same as TradingView, so it's something I'm familiar with. I didn't really have to learn anything new, and then I really like Project X's risk management settings where you can lock your account and all that stuff. Yeah, Project X. And you can, like, if you get an account with TradeDay, TradeDay, Lucid, those are the three main ones. There's several others, but those are the prop firms that I use that have Project X. Why did I not use the footprint? Like, why do I not use that as an indicator or what? I don't really use footprints. It's bouncing at this point of control. I don't like that it's holding that. Oh, volume profile or footprint? I don't know if I can give you an answer of which one is better. Depends on your preference and which one you read better. I like volume profile. That's what I prefer. It makes sense to me. It was easy for me to comprehend. But if you like footprint and that makes sense to you, use that. Well, that was a pretty big bounce at point of control. I wonder if we're not going to get continuation down. No, take no marvel. Maybe you're not, like, do you trade with prop firms? I guess that would be the first question I should ask. Okay. I don't know if Project X is available for personal accounts. You'd have to look that up. I don't think so. I think it's just with prop firms, but I could be wrong. What you could do though, if you like TradingView, is connect your broker to it. So get a personal account with TradeDay or NinjaTrader or something like that, and then connect that account to your TradingView. And you can actually take trades directly from TradingView. There are several other brokers that do that as well. So on your TradingView, look down on the bottom. It gives you a whole list of brokers that are available. If you have an account with one of those, you can connect it and take trades right on TradingView. Nope, I've never tried Earn to Trade. Well, dang, I thought we were going to go down further. Alrighty, I guess it's bouncing there. So point of control, this is from the previous session's volume profile, session volume profile, so from Friday. And point of control basically is the point where most trading happens during the day. So the most transactions happened at this price point. So another way to think of it is that's basically the fair value. It's the agreed upon price where buyers and sellers transacted the most business. So I kind of use it as a way of seeing if longs or shorts are what I'm watching for. With other context, obviously, I look at the higher time frame. But if it's above the previous session point of control, then we're trading at a premium and we're probably going to be going higher. Or if we're trading below, then we're trading at a discount and we'll likely be going lower. It's kind of a good way to use point of control. All right, so if shorts are going to be the continuation, 15-minute opening range low is sitting right at the New York anchored VWAP. So 26,155 if it gets up there. entered at 136.25. And I'll use that as my stop. I just moved my stop loss too early, but the idea was right. If this thing comes down and fills the gap, it pretty much would be all the way down to 26,000. Still a long way to go if it's going to do that. All right, oops, wrong screen. I'll scale out. Telling me to take profit because of a double bottom? No. I don't watch double bottoms on a 2-minute chart. Maybe on like a 4-hour. Still struggling to get past that point of control from Friday. Put it down at the previous week point of control for the first take profit. Be nice, you guys. $10 minutes until the initial balance is set. I don't like this choppiness right now. Not really getting any follow through in either direction. My streaming schedule is Monday through Friday at 9:15. So a couple minutes before the market open. I do have a Discord too. The link is in the description. If you're not in there already, you're welcome to join. And I post my schedule in there also. Because sometimes my schedule changes if I have an event at my kid's school or something going on. Goodness. It's consolidating for something. Let's see if it's consolidating for a move down. That's what I'm hoping. Dougie Freshness. Let me grab the link. I'll post it in the chat real quick. There it is. I just put the link in the chat for the Discord. Welcome to join. I share my charts and trade ideas and levels and stuff every day. And would love other people to share theirs too. I think it helps when there's everyone looks at the market different and even has different strategies that they trade. So if there's confluence across different strategies, I think that kind of just gives more confidence in what you're trading. It's a good place to ask questions too. We have a pretty good mix of advanced traders and beginners. Some people are just learning. So if you want to share trade ideas or losses and kind of ask, why did I lose here? What could I have looked for? What could I have done better? Just trying to create a supportive community with everyone. Yeah, you're welcome. Starting to move down a little bit. So my first target is at previous week point of control, kind of the top of this high volume node. Looking left. If this thing continues to move down, I could see us coming down to London low at the least. But then right below that is, there was a little bit of a gap at the open last night. Right at London low. So I wonder if we get down there, we might just fill the gap. It's only another 20 points or so away. Where is that gap? Right here. That's where I'll set my target. I'll set another buy order down at London low. Kind of see how it reacts there. Might leave some runners if this thing continues to be heavy. Because really, my game plan was if it holds below this area, we're going lower. So shorts could be the way if we stay below this 26.42 level. Yeah, that's where I have an order down at London low and then also at the gap fill. But I'm going to leave a runner. Oh, we're close, you guys. 15 more likes. Coming on down. You like my calmness? Even when everyone in the chat is telling me that we're going up and I should take profits? Now you're watching the market play with our emotions? I don't know, this is a pretty good trend. It was choppy for a little while back in this area at like 8:55 Central. Little bit of indecision back there. I guess I can move this line. Initial balance low is moving on down. That's great. Now everyone's gonna look at me and think I'm a duck. That's what's going on in my head. I'm just sitting up above water, nice and calm with a smile on my face, and under the desk, I'm like riding a bicycle or something. Well, the initial balance is set, and we're breaking out from it so far. It's about to hit my first order at London low, and then I have another one at the gap. And then leave a runner, see where this thing goes. I'm going to move my stop loss to above this high volume node because that was my game plan. If it stays below that level, I'd be looking for short. So 2677 is where I'm going to move it to. Yep, Cheechamus, initial balance is set. We're trading outside of it right now. So there is a possibility that it could bounce off of this London low, grab some liquidity, and move back up into the initial balance low. So watching for that possibility. We're so close to that gap though. I mean, it doesn't have to fill, obviously. I'm not saying it does. But with it only being 20-ish points away, I could see it happening, possibly. If it is gonna bounce off of London low and like move up big, that wasn't the kind of liquidity sweep bounce I would look for if I was taking a long. That was pretty sad, to be honest. What is ES doing? ES is at previous day low. Interesting. So that is one thing. Like the price action, the movement between ES and NQ looks similar. NQ is just a lot higher, probably because of all the earnings last week and then the news about Nvidia and Amazon this morning. Because previous day low for NQ is way down here, another 150 points below where we're at right now. And ES is at it right now, so that's interesting. Curious to see if 26K holds. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the higher time frame, like the hourly, 4 hour, we could go a lot lower. Like this was my first target around like 25,700. I don't think that'll happen today. But there's definitely more room down. All right, so it did bounce off of that London low, starting to kind of get back above IB low. Not convincingly though, not enough to make me want to close my shorts. Let's see if it fills the gap. $26K is an interesting level though, old trader, I agree. It's Friday's value area low. It is the overnight gap fill. And it's just a round psychological number. I could see us getting a good bounce there. Even if we do have more downside today, we could get a good bounce right there. Oh yeah, no, I know, Kevin. They trade very similarly. They're correlated. I was just making a comment. That's why I watch them side by side, just to kind of make sure that they're trending in the right direction, same direction. I just meant in relation to their levels, they're trading differently. There's not usually a difference between the two unless some news, or like I said, earnings last week. It's usually related to some news with Nvidia or Apple or something like that that makes NQ move and not ES as much. Yeah, it got, like I said, that little bounce at London low, but there's not any continuation on it, so still looks like we might go lower. We'll see how this 5-minute candle closes over here though. Lots can happen in the next 2 minutes. There's the bounce. I do have my stop loss up above this high volume node at 2677. So if it stays below that resistance, I'll be good. If it starts to break above, it's going to stop me out. Yeah, Verisat, if I was a scalper, that would be a level I would have been watching too. And the fact that ES is bouncing right at previous day low, NQ is right at London low, that was a good scalp level. I wouldn't say it was a super risky trade. All right, coming from a stop. Looks like it's moving back up. Yeah, that was a strong bounce. Let's see what happens. We have a intersection of both VWAPs right here at like 26,125. If we break above that, we could see continuation up. If we start to reject there, I'll watch for shorts. Potential idea right here. Come back down to initial balance low, see if that happens. I would put my stop loss above this wick on that candle right there. So it would be about a 30-point stop loss. Trying a short right here. I don't know. It's right at the top of a support area I had drawn up. I don't know if I would short there. Seems slow moving this morning. We don't have any news tomorrow. Seems backwards. Usually it's no news Mondays. But we had PMI this morning and nothing tomorrow. We just have a Fed speaker early in the morning. Compared to last week where we had lots of news, lots of earnings, this week's kind of slow. We do have the US-China tariff deadline. I feel like there's a deadline every week. They just keep extending the deadline. So do they have another meeting scheduled? That deadline is like this weekend, Sunday or something like that. Come on up a little higher. Don't reject from there. Come on. A little higher. The time frame. This is the 5-minute chart. Usually I have it on the 5-minute. I think that was the 2-minute. Now it's on the 5-minute. So this one on the right is ES. On the left, it's NQ. I guess I can put. I had the watermark on here before. Where is that? I don't remember how you do that. There. No, you can see it. Still waiting for NQ to come up a little bit higher. If it does, well, it looks like it's going without me. It rejected off of Friday's point of control. Never came higher. Well, not yet at least. I shouldn't say never. That's very definitive, but Going down. Two more likes, you guys. Let me get this form ready. We'll do a duck race here in a little bit. If you haven't already, hit that like button. We'll do a duck racing giveaway. Is someone messing with you, Waffles? Someone took their like off. Was it 100? Now it's 99? That's messed up, guys. Who did it? Somebody's just playing pranks on a Monday. All right, it's back. All right, let me grab that link and I'll put it in the chat. So fill out that Google form, just put your name, email, YouTube name, and I will assign you a duck. We'll do a duck race. Lots of fun. A duck race is a whole lot more fun than watching this. It's like trading the Asia session. Is gold still moving up? No, gold pulled back. See if gold comes back to VWAP and bounces again. All right, we're moving back up. Let's see what happens. This is an intersection of both of the VWAPs, so could be a good spot for a short. 26, 121-ish is where it's at now. Got back just in time. For a trade or the duck race? We know what G-Man's here for. Both might happen, actually. If you guys stepped away for a second earlier, we are doing a giveaway. I put a form, a Google form in the chat. Fill that out, and I'll copy everyone's names and put it on a duck. We'll do it in, I don't know, 3 more minutes. So 9:58, 10:58 Eastern. Choppy, choppy. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. What are we looking like? What are we looking like? Coming back up again. All right, 2 more minutes, you guys. Fill out that form if you haven't already. And then I'll do a quick check, make sure we don't have any duplicates. You hear that top one doesn't pay people out? That's not true. Unless you're a cheater. I've gotten 3 payouts from them. 2. I'd have to look back at my records, but I've gotten more than 1 with them. They have not paid people out. They have declined some. But I'm in their like affiliate meetings and they explain why. It's people who are sim farming. So basically that means that they just buy a challenge account and they like full port long on one account and they full port short on the other. So they can immediately pass one of them and then get a payout as soon as possible. They're basically cheating. So if you're doing that, yeah, they're going to decline a payout. So just don't cheat and trade for real and you'll get a payout. They're a really good firm. Same thing with Apex. Like, I've never traded with Apex, but from what I've heard, there's plenty of people who've gotten payouts with them. You just gotta not cheat. You gotta follow the rules. Apex's rules are a little bit stricter. Like with them, it's not necessarily cheating. It's like I held my trade for too few seconds or something. But with Top One, the only ones they've denied are cheaters. Yeah, so G-Man, they do have the 50K challenge account does have an activation fee. That's not my favorite account. They have the Pro Sim Funded is a good one. It's a cheap version of Instant Funded, and their new Ignite accounts are actually pretty cool. They have a lower max payout, but they're cheaper. So if you're looking for an Instant Funded account that is the cheapest on the market, their Ignite accounts are actually really cool. Something that other firms don't really have. All right, I got to talking. Form is closed. Let me grab everyone's names. Check for duplicates. Which prop firm is best for a new trader? I would say Lucid and TradeDay are probably the easiest to get a payout. And they're cheaper. So Lucid right now, their sale, both of them are about the same. Lucid and TradeDay. I would recommend going with their 50K, either the test account with Lucid or the growth account with TradeDay. They're about $85 roughly. They're about the same. There's no activation fee, which is good. Lucid maybe has a little bit of a one-up on TradeDay because Lucid does not have a monthly recurring fee. So TradeDay, if you don't pass within the first 30 days, there's like a monthly subscription fee. Lucid does not have that, so there's no rush to pass. But I think those are the two that are probably the easiest to get a payout in my opinion. All right. Don't see any duplicates. Let me grab everyone's name. We'll do our duck race. Anyone new to duck races in the chat? You're in for a treat if you've never done one before. They're fun. All right. Are we ready? Oh, we got a couple newbies. Let's go. On your mark, get set, go. Waffles got a little pirate hat on. Uh-oh. Michael and Waffles, you're going out too hot. You gotta pace yourself. Slow and steady wins the race. I don't know what name is on that front duck. Carolina. Oh my gosh. A mohawk and one eyeball on the front of your forehead. That's funny. "30 seconds left. This is a tight race. Who's going to make a move?" Oh, someone's starting to make a move. Michael? Maxwell? Someone's going to come out hot. Oh, Joe's making a move. Eric? Looks like Joe's going to take it. Nice. Is Joe in the chat? If If you're here, say something, Joe. It's always that last minute surprise, yep. It's like the last 10 seconds. Whoever makes a move at the last 10 to 12 seconds. There's Joe. NASDAQ 1212. Awesome. Are you in the Discord group? If you are, find me and send me a DM and I'll get you connected with the account, the giveaway. Check out Top 1 Futures if you're not familiar with their accounts already. You can choose between the Pro Sim Funded and the Ignite account, the 50K. So check out which one you want based on the rules and stuff. But they're both straight to fund accounts, so they're pretty good. Send me a message, let me know. All right, still chopping around here. Never quite came all the way up to VWAP. That's where I would be looking for a short. It kind of did there and rejected, but still chopping. Joe must have been practicing. Yeah, he just paced it correctly. Didn't even see Joe's duck until the very last couple seconds. That's the way to go. If you're in the lead in the front, you know you're in trouble. You're not going to win. All right, guys, so I'm going to leave you with what I'm watching for. So I'm not just sitting here staring at the screen because it's pretty choppy and boring right now. But I'll be watching for a retest of this VWAP level, 26,118-ish. So I'll set an alert there, although VWAP's changed. So that's kind of going to move a little bit. And then I'll be watching this initial balance low also. So if it comes down there and starts to look super bullish with a buy up, potential longs at initial balance low, but I'm kind of leaning towards short. So if it rejects here at VWAP, I would be looking for possibly the gap fill. So I would either target initial balance low or down to fill that overnight gap, depending on how price action goes. But that's what I'm watching for, guys. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. It was fun trading with you. And I'll be hanging out in Discord too. If I take any other trades, I'll be sharing them in there. And we'll be back live tomorrow morning. Have a good one, you guys.